Hi everyone, myself Swapnali Chowgule from SBNM College of Pharmacy, Mahad. Today we learn about the part first of Introduction of Business, Elements of Economics and Management. In part first, the learning objects are define the business, classification of business, define the industry and its classification, and define the commerce and classification of commerce. Now we will be the first learn about the definition of business. The business is all those economical activities including production, distribution of goods, industries, commerce, trade and services. The final objective is to make a profit and at same time make the consumer satisfied. For example, medical store, textile industry. Next, the classification of business having two types. First is the commerce, second is the industry. The commerce having the following subtypes are banking, transport, insurance, trade, warehousing, advertising, and packaging. And trade having following subtypes are internal and international. And internal having following two subtypes are wholesale, retail, and international having three following subtypes are import, export, and intraport. Now we will be the first learn about the first part of the business is the industries. It is a part of the business activity which relate to production, processing of the fabrication of the product. Then the process of raw material to get a final manufacturing product. The classification of industry is the extractive industry, genetic industry, manufacturing industry, and construction industry. The manufacturing industry having the following sub four types are analytical industry, synthetic industry, processing industry, and assembly industry. First type is the extractive industry. This industry take up the activities aimed at drawing, extracting, or rising from the soil, air, and water. For example, of extractive industries are hunting, fishing, and mining. Next type of the industry is the genetic industry. This industry which take up the activities related to the reproduction, multiplication of certain species of plant, animal, and wish the reap the profit from the resultant breed. For example, plant nurseries, poultry farm. Next, third part of the industry is the manufacturing industry. The industry taking up the transformation of raw material into finished product. For example, cotton and textile industry. Next, the type of manufacturing industries are analytical industry, synthetic industry, processing industries, and assembly line industry. The analytical industry are engaged into the analysis and isolation of different fraction from the same material. For example, the oil refinery industry analyze the crude oil and separate out petrol, diesel, gasoline, kerosene, and lubricating oil. Next is the synthetic industry are involved the production of new product by putting together various ingredients and their combination manufacturing process to get a new manufactured product. Next, processing industry. In this industry process the raw material through the various stage of the production resulting in the final product. And next, assembly industry. Assembly industry having two types. In assembly industry, assemble the different instrument to make a new utilizable product. The first type is the heavy industry. In heavy industry which involves the big capital investment into the machinery and equipment, for example, shipbuilding, iron, steel, and light industry having a low capital investment, for example, paper industry and jute industry. And next part of the business and next type of the business is the commerce. It is a very important part of the commerce. The commerce is the part of business and activity which is the concern with the distribution of goods and services and produced by the industry. Commerce is having a total of such a business and commercial activity which tends to facilitate the exchange of good. The commerce having following subtypes are banking, transport, insurance, trade, warehousing, advertising, and packing. And trade having two types, internal and international. And internal having two subtypes, wholesale trade, retail trade. And international having three subtypes, import, export, and intraport. First, banking. The dealing of goods, various industries involve many hassles like amount of money, mode, time, and place of payment before the transaction can be settled. The commerce facilitates the exchange of good and service by rendering as easy solution to this problem through the agencies of bank. Next, the transportation, insurance, and packing. The transportation of good from the production end to consumption end, and packing arrangement of the against the possibility of damage. Means the packing is very important to avoid the damage of the good. And third part of the commerce is the warehousing. The agencies and institutions operating the warehouse are therefore the commercial undertaking which form an integral part of network of modern commerce. And next part is the advertising of good. Commerce helps in the exchange of good by a proper organization of advertising. The commerce helps in the advertising, publicity, and selling of the good very well. And last type of the commerce is the trade. It is a very important of the type of commerce. The trade having two types, internal trade and international trade. Internal trade means it comprises of the sale and exchange of good within the boundaries of nation, means the exchange of good only one countries. Okay, and international trade means the supply of good to buyers located in foreign countries. Okay, the internal having following two subtypes are wholesale trade and retail trade. In wholesale trade, it involves the sale of goods in comparatively larger quantity to traders in direct contact with consumer. And retail trade, it comprises of supply of good to consumer in a small quantities when it's needed. And international having three types, import, export, and intraport. The import having the supply of good from foreign country to home, means the procurement of foreign good for a home use. And next, the export, it consists of the supply of home good for a foreign use. And intraport means brings about the exchange of good between the foreign producer to foreign consumer.